check out some of the papers this morning. How about we start? They say ladies first.
Ladies. For SHS, it's here on page 6. Let me go to the middle page and see what's happening. I nearly died. Funny face narrates ghastly accidents. It's in the middle page here. And okay, I will go to the men. If I find something a little more interesting, I'll share with you.
But that story about I nearly died, you know, Hammer of the last two
also
has also been in the news. Of course, his was COVID-19 related. He was talking about the outpouring of love and all of that. But basically, his life flashed
right in front
before his very eyes, and I was like,
This is serious, yeah. Well, I'm happy he's endorsed the vaccination. That get vaccinated. Very important. I mean, for those who can't trust, I mean, hey.
Luckily, the second jabs of the AstraZeneca it started. I hope that so you
from tomorrow. From tomorrow, the 1st of September.
We'll be in.
No, they are in. So the jabs
will start tomorrow.
Will start from tomorrow. I think yesterday, for example, the Director of Health in the Ashanti region was talking about the rollout there, and so nationally as well. But guess who has been endorsing it recently? Someone you would never expect. DJT, Donald John Trump. And his fans booed him.
Why are they surprised?
Oh, there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy among Republicans in the U.S. thanks to him.
But for him, I don't get surprised at anything at all.
Ah, well.
I really don't.
But here, that's quite an about turn there.
Right.
More stories?
I mean, just like what we said yesterday, 23 Fulani robbers arrested in Donkokrom. Wonder why they had to, title that story as Fulanis again. Is on page 7 of the Daily Guide. The gentleman can take it away. Go on. Maybe
all right, Benjamin.
Jay.
Over to you.
Okay, so let's start from the Daily Graphic newspaper. Outcome of President's state visit. Germany gifts Ghana 1.5 million doses of AstraZeneca. They're actually giving out some 70 million to Africa, and Ghana is getting 1.5 million. And so the German Chancellor actually announced that stakeholders commit to strengthening media training. Roads Minister bemoans delay over Obechebi Lamte project. This is interesting for me because I was there, was it earlier this year or late last year? I think it was earlier this year. And we covered the first phase and what work had been done. The second phase was, supposed to have been completed. The timelines were given and all of that. But it appears there have been a lot of delays, and the roads minister is not pleased about that.
Obechebi, that's how am I missing mine?
Where are you going to mention?
No, Obechebi. Where is Obechebi again? Sorry, it just flashed right before my eyes.
Jay Foley.
Okay, Obechebi Day.
No, what was the story about again?
The Obechebi Lamte project.
Yes.
Obechebi Lamte. The roundabouts.
So I'm asking where it is.
Where the roundabout is.
Yes, it just flashed before.
Coming from where?
No, I'm lost.
So
sorry.
when you're using, would I say, is it Kaneshi? Kaneshi.
Okay.
When you get to that roundabout, you see that stretch where the overpass is being.
Okay, all right, sure, I got it.
That is Obechebi.
Okay, I got it now.
Obechebi Lamte.
I should have said down.
My bearings just got missing for a split second in there.
So that is the roads minister in there. But the delays, I think back then they were talking about. There was a particular junction they were talking about that until it's completed, it would affect the flow of traffic there. So at least. The hope is that it will be completed soon.
Okay.
Nuclear power project to generate 1.2 billion local content. That is in dollars, and that's on page 16. And this takes me back to the Nkrumah era and when we started with exploring atomic energy. But it appears we've not really gained the full complement of that project, some 64 years down the line. In other stories, just to wrap with the Daily Graphic newspaper, there's release funds for disbursement to assemblies. PAC chairman appeals to government. I'm talking about James Kluche Aveji, and discuss NDC's electoral proposals. Dr. Akwete of IDEG calls for that. I think there was a final story I wanted to look at, but that should be it for the Daily Graphic. Just this one to add: fire officers avert disaster in Tamale, and it has to do with that 4-hour downpour. And it's a mad situation. Hopefully today we can also give some highlights on the weather, hopefully, so that people can know what to expect. Yesterday it was drizzling a bit, even here in town.
Yeah.
Jake?
Well, let me go to the Ghanaian Times newspaper. But very interesting story here on page 18. The second I say it, you all go like, wow. 687 girls in the Upper West region returned to school pregnant.
687.
87.
COVID, should we call COVID the official Kweku Frimpong the Asembeba?
Asemnaba.
600 and what?
Out of the number, 50 of them were in primary 4.
Are you serious?
You want the full story, Ghanaian Times newspaper. I'm teasing with a trailer, isn't it?
But that is not, MFA, that is not too much of a surprise. I think the latest we had was around 300,000 plus of them, if you look at the total data. And that was even an improvement upon the year before. And there were as young as 10-year-olds, if I recall,
9,
from that
10,
report.
13.
So this is no real surprise, but it just hits you.
Wow.
Who is getting these young women pregnant?
Surely they're not selling them like. Surely they're not selling the other donor. I mean, it's not by the roadside like you can get it like, you know, how the cocoa is by the roadside. But it's a lot of things going on.
AJ, because it feels like every time we assembly young girls or young ladies and we talk to them that, okay, you know, you need to go to school. If you're learning a skill, concentrate. I think the conversation should move to the men.
I think that, we should start saying that 687 men have gotten young girls pregnant.
One man can get about 10 women pregnant.
Yeah, you have a point.
Very serious point.
So a man should be cautioned more than a young girl. A man, I mean.
So they should name the men. It's true. And that should be published.
It stands to reason. Well, those things don't happen. And believe you me, they won't happen.
And society will not even
the sad bit is, the young girl is the one who will bear the stigma and all the shame, because she will carry the very obvious, a pregnancy.
Yes.
It's very obvious. I mean, you only have to see her and you will notice that she is indeed pregnant, of course, when she gets into that trimester. But you were asking who are those. Oftentimes, the surprise is it is people very close to the girls. If you read the data, sometimes you even have fathers involved there. Some, I'm not saying all. You have uncles, you have people very close to them, relatives, cousins, and the rest. So
well, then this is a hopeless situation.
Oh, it isn't hopeless, but I think maybe if we had some mechanism of naming and shaming,
it would help.
Apart from
really help
whatever legal, because in some instances you might see
because these are
incest,
minors.
In some of them you might see defilement. In some of them you might even see rape. So
and it boils down to also education, because in some of these areas, you know, some might not even see what you are talking about. They don't even understand what you are saying.
My point exactly. That's what I'm wondering.
It's a whole lot. If you look at the whole food chain or the value chain that adds up to these problems, it's a lot of things. So many. Culture, beliefs, irresponsibility, indiscipline, education. It's all playing a role in there. That adds up to the 687.
When you just mentioned culture, something else, child marriage.
Child marriage,
and it's still going on.
Yeah.
When you look into those details, I'm sure you will find some of that in there.
It's terrible. That story is on page 18 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. You might want to just grab a big story in there. I wish we were on the front page. 5-hour downpour causes destruction in Tamale metropolis. And also another story here that you might discuss too. 22 Fulanis arrested for illegally possessing firearms.
When will these people simply say herdsmen?
Herdsmen.
And leave out the Fulani.
And leave the tribe out.
Over time, I think even on air we should edit out. Because we are targeting one group and simply saying...
You arrest one Obing and you say... One Ashanti arrested for gun.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to say one Ashanti and one Ewe, one Fanti. 300 Evers make money this year. No, you just see 300 people have made money, right?
True.
Yeah, but
it's still the 687 girls.
Very soon, I'll just say 400 of my people
That's bothering me. That has my full attention this morning.
What's that?
So 687 young girls.
Well,
so I was at a wedding. Can you give me a heading for this? It's for a headline for a paper. I was at a wedding, and the pastor prayed. It was drizzling, and the pastor prayed, and in just less than a minute, the rain stopped. Give me a headline. He's an ever.
I will not fall for the bait. I will not fall for
Are
it.
you down with the Ghanaian Times this morning?
You see?
Give me a headline
see,
for the paper.
I take exception to what he is saying, this young man.
You know what? Let's go to
MFA,
the scripture reading.
do you know what we're going to
And
do?
MF's afraid.
Relax.
So I want you to give me a guy. Gossiping
Okay.
on TV is not allowed.
Jay Foley, you did not catch that. Anyway, I see you have the Chronicle.
Absolutely. So I will go with the scripture reading today. Ezekiel 7:23. Make the chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes and the city is full of violence. Alan denounces to whom machete attack. I condemn without reservation this barbaric act of some members of our great party. It is on page 3 as well on in the Chronicle, I'd say. And then Ghanaian media deserves investment to improve output. You see this on page 8 as Upon Kroma, Minister for Information, has been speaking. And good news, 5 million more COVID-19 vaccines coming through. President has been assuring us. That's it for the Chronicle this morning.
Well, I'll just leave you with this since we're short on time. It's from the Finder newspaper. After not being paid a salary for 1 year, she quits her job to become a boat driver. And this one, I'm going to be like Sammy B. I put it to you. If you had lost your job for a year, what would you do?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what would you do? I know so many graduates, people I've chanced upon, people, acquaintances, if you would like, and a lot of them, you know, especially on the back of the banking sector problems and cleanup and all of that. They are driving vehicles, and some of them are. You must make ends meet. You must take care of your family. You must put bread on the table. So
course.
Somehow.
I don't know what you would do, but she decided. I mean, she was with a financial firm. A year, no pay. She said, "Charlie, I know how to drive. What am I sitting down for?"
Luckily, she
started
has a
driving.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she can start with that. Start with what you have.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, for a woman who sells, let's say, hair, you've been to body parts, right?
For a woman who sells one.
Body parts. Remember sells body parts? Hey, she sells hair. See how she's looking at me?
Hair extensions.
Yeah. You know, like,
Hey, Jay Foley,
everything's
wait,
body
yeah.
parts. If your daughter asks you, what they ask you, is your daughter or your child, you know, what's your mommy into?
body parts.
She sells
No, but
nails.
You know, usually
She wants to
when we do body parts, we don't really talk about hair
You know-
and stuff like that. We are talking about limbs and why are you so mischievous?
She's describing the things she's into.
I plead the fifth on your behalf. No comment.
All right.
Leave. In fact, we've already decided when this is done and we step aside, we'll deal with that young man.
I have a shoe.
And on that note, I'm still waiting for the caption or for the headlines for that special newspaper. Faster. I don't want to say much, but there's a lot coming up on the show.
Something
Very
can shut
exciting.
us up, right? Something really shut both of us up.
You know what I'm thinking, eh?
Don't think.
How to caption it. Let's think through. But when we come back, there's more. I'll give
Really,
more.
join us on.